Hey folks, good morning. Welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. On this Saturday fight day, we've got Johnny Fisher, the Romford Bull, and Dave Allen, the White Rhino rematch. So if you're a fan of British domestic level heavyweight boxing, this is a fight that certainly gathered a lot of attention. Certainly gathered my attention for sure. More so actually than if it had been, some marquee names. It's a funny thing. These guys are not like super high rated, fringe British level. But I am personally way more interested in watching this fight than I was Adelaide and TKV, which is arguably a level higher. It was fighting for the British title. And I have no interest whatsoever in seeing Adelaide and TKV rematch, which I spoke about the other day. It may not be taking place because of monetary issues, but I'm just not too interested really. Whereas this fight looks like it could be a humdinger. I've been scouring for any latest interviews or anything like that. There was one that was interesting to me, and it was a Johnny Fisher interview. Thankfully, just Johnny Fisher on his own, without his overly large father. Overly large presence, I mean, as well as being just naturally lots of skin. Johnny Fisher he repeated some of the things he said before. He does feel as though Dave Allen sort of misled him, tricked him, buttered him up in the lead up to the first fight, and he said, "I won't be buttered this time," which gave me the idea for the thumbnail. He said that he's not sure what kind of game plan he's going to adopt, whether he will come out fast like he did last time, or whether he's going to try and be a bit more reserved, pacing himself a bit better. He sort of, the bit that was interesting is he did drill down a little bit into the first fight. Now, he says he won round 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I agree. He says he won rounds 10, which I think I would agree with as well, to be honest. He says he won round 6, but then he says, well, it could have been close, He said he wouldn't argue a round or two either way. And I think that's reasonably fair. I mean, Dave Allen won 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course he has the 10-8 round. So it's not a robbery. It was, the guy who won didn't get the victory kind of thing. But Johnny Fisher, the way he was talking about this, it doesn't seem as though he's so annoyed that people say, we think Dave Allen won. What he's annoyed about is the way in which those people say it. So if somebody says, oh, it was diabolical, it was a robbery, Johnny Fisher was irritated by that because it's sort of overstating or overcooking something. Because, I think most of us would agree that it was sort of 5-5 with a knockdown. So, there's a point in it, right? Maybe a couple of points in it. Maybe there was an extra round for Dave Allen and he got the knockdown. If that was the case, it's still not a robbery. It's a word that we all throw around too much, right? But it appears that that's sort of like the real thorn in Team Fisher's shoe, or stone in Team Fisher's shoe, I guess, is that the way in which some people classified the result. And he sort of alluded to there sort of being like this, some people have got this agenda in the background or whatever. And that's something that his very large dad said as well about people couldn't wait to sort of hurt you on the way down or when something goes wrong. And Johnny Fisher was talking about that, like if you buy a nice house or you buy a nice car or you make an Instagram post that gets more likes, people are always wanting to tear you down. So there seriously is some issue that Team Fisher has about that. Could you say it was an insecurity? Could you say it was a chip on their collective shoulder? Could you say it was just something that really triggered them and they won't let it go? Interesting. And I think it's probably best let go. There's a danger, in my view, when you're sort of continuously relitigating what happened in the past, refighting what happened in the past. I don't think that's really super helpful. And I see Dubois doing it, of course, famously talking about the first Usyk fight. He's talking to anybody who will listen about the legit punch that dropped Usyk and how he was robbed, he was cheated, and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, I don't think that that's particularly helpful. I mean, you could use that for some motivation, I guess. But I think that that sort of, really staring back probably isn't the right way to go. Like Usyk, for example, says, look, I live in the now, I'm in the moment, this is now, and I'm going forward. I think that's more helpful, but I mean, it sounds like actually more helpful in life generally, right? If we basically don't let go of things that have annoyed us, we had to line up too long in the supermarket and we're still thinking about that on our drive home, we're probably not paying attention to our driving and, then problems can happen. So it's probably good life advice. I don't know about boxing motivation advice, probably good life advice. So there we are. My prediction remains the same. Super disappointed yesterday seeing Dave Allen step on the scales at 265 and seeing him sort of standing there with, basically a bit of a gut on him. Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping for so much more. His coach seems infused. His coach seems, not to be, disappointed. But, I mean, his coach has got a job, right? And his job is to train the guy when the guy's in the gym. He obviously doesn't live with the fighter. There isn't much he can do if the fighter's putting hand to mouth, right? So, yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed. I was really hoping for, as fit as a butcher's dog kind of Dave Allen. What can you do, right? It is what it is. I'm looking forward to the fight. Yeah, I'm going to be cheering for Dave Allen, but I think my prediction is going to hold, and I'll come on here later in the day and let you know what I thought of the fight, and hopefully the best man wins. Hopefully there's no shenanigans or anything like that around the officiating, and hopefully both fighters go home to their families. And they've both had a good paycheck and provided a good scrap for us all to watch. So there we go. That's all from me for the moment. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.